everybody, let's go, let's go. This is Sideline Sports. I'm your host, Trevor Beckman. Please hit the like, hit the subscribe. I appreciate all your support so far. I'm going to keep pumping them out, and we're going to talk Niner football. We got Niners-Titans tomorrow evening. That's Saturday evening, 4 p.m. I'm going to be doing a halftime show and an after-the-game show to just talk a little bit about some of the players on the bubble, who we think are going to make the team, who we think are going to get cut. There's a few players I'm going to talk about in this video. I'm super hyped about football finally being here, so let's make it happen. Let's talk. We got a couple of players that were signed recently. We have a wide receiver, Jonte Kirkland, and a running back, Keyshawn Vaughn, that was signed to the team. I think they're going to play a couple of snaps at least. Definitely going to play in the preseason game. Don't know how much, but those guys, not sure that they're going to make the roster, if they're just going to play on the practice team or what, but they were signed, and unfortunately, when you sign two players, a couple of players got to go most likely. So we got safety Eric Harris that was waived, and also Tariq Owens, who was a wide receiver. He was injured, so he's gone too. Those two guys had to go to free up the roster spots. So now we got three players I want to talk about that are on the bubble, some more than others, that we're going to take a look at playing in this Titans game that will give us clarity as to whether they make the team or whether they're gone. So the first one's Ambry Thomas. We all know who he is. He played last year, 86 total snaps last year he played, so he played a little bit. He played all the way up into the Super Bowl, and he's a pretty solid player. I don't know if he's going to start, obviously, because I do think he's on the bubble, but he is a player that's solid. I think he'll actually be on the roster when the season starts. So I think barring any major screw-ups on his side during the preseason games, I think he makes the roster, but we're going to see a lot of him, I think, in the Titans game just to see where we're at with him. But I think he's a safe bet that he's going to make it at least past the Titans preseason game, and I believe he's going to make the roster. Player number 2, Samuel Womack. He is a cornerback as well. He's on the bubble, and he's got stiff competition. He's played and allowed 17 receptions on 23 attempts. 17 receptions on 23 attempts for a cornerback, I don't think is great considering the competition the Niners have now at that position. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see him cut after the Titans game or cut before the season starts. Real stiff competition with that. So Samuel Womack, not real sure if he's going to make the team or not, but we'll see how he plays against the Titans. And I think he's on the bubble. Depending on how he plays could dictate whether he's on the roster next week or even leading up to the preseason, opening season game. So the next guy, Cameron Latou, if I'm saying that right, he's a tight end 2 that was drafted. He redshirted last season. He is not doing real great, actually. He's got the dropsies, a lot of concern around whether he can catch and hold on to the ball. And the Niners are outside looking for a tight end 2 outside the organization right now. So I don't think you're going to see him make the team. Again, we'll see how his performance goes against the Titans because that will probably dictate a lot of how the rest of the preseason goes for him up to making a roster spot on the team. But I don't think he's going to make the roster. I think he's going to be cut just because he cannot hold on the ball. Kyle Shanahan has already been interviewed about him, and not real encouraging words coming from Kyle Shanahan on his room for growth, basically. He's dropping the ball a lot, so, I think he's off the team by the time the season starts. But who knows? Let's see how it goes. Those are the 3 players I wanted to mention. At halftime, we're going to talk about some of the players I didn't mention here in the video and how they're doing during the game. And then after the game, we'll talk a little bit more about how the Niners look during that preseason game. Of course, we're going to see a lot of rookies. I don't think a lot of the starters are going to play too much. So we'll talk about the starters, but right now I love the preseason games because we get to get into the nitty gritty of who is going to make the roster, some of the rookies, some of the walk-ons, some of the players who might be able to just surprise some people along the way, and maybe there's a roster spot for them if they can play. So anyway, that's it for Niners football today. I can't wait to do the video tomorrow, the first preseason game. I'm already hyped up about it. I love football, and I love talking to you guys about it. So again, thank you for your support. hit the like, hit the subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.